So we'll do a while loop. So let's comment this out. And if you guys remember the comments, multi-line comments, you can use either 3 single quotes or 3 double quotes on each side, and it prints everything out. Sorry, comments everything out. Alright, so while loop is while a certain condition. Let's say we have a condition of, let's just say x is true for now. You can say while x, so while whatever is true, so in this case x, and it's always going to be true because x is set to true. It's set to a boolean. Remember, we have booleans, either true or false. So right now it's being set to true. And what a while loop does is it's going to continue looping until a certain condition is met. So right now it's just going to continue looping forever. So if we were to say to print hello, this will just continue looping. It's an infinite loop, and as you can see down here, it's just continuing to print it on and on and on and on and on. So in this case we would have to stop it. But you can do a lot of other stuff with this. A while loop is going to be used when you don't necessarily know when you're going to get to an endpoint. Like, you don't necessarily know how many times you want to loop. So if you have a while loop, it can check for the certain condition and then just stop looping then. So for instance, if you would say you have a variable x, change this to 1, and then you have a variable y, 5. It's not the, this is kind of just a simple explanation just to show you guys. But while x is not equal to 5, as you can see, it's not equal to 5 right now. Obviously it's 1. Y is 5. Oh, this should be y. You can set it so that x gets, let's say, x plus 1. And this is the, remember when we were assigning variables, when we're assigning variables, so x gets x plus 1 is not an algebraic equation, you're not going to solve for it. So x is getting x plus 1. So in this case, x would be initially 1, so 1 plus 1 is 2, and it sets the new variable 2, and it loops through again, 3, loops through again, 4, loops through again, 5, and then eventually, once it gets to 5, this condition is gonna be false. So whatever is here, once it becomes false, it ends the looping and you're done. So if you want to see what it looks like, we'll print out the x values as we go through. So it's just gonna count up 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Because it's being added, or yeah. And if we were to put this here, you would get 1, 2, 3, 4. At the last one, it sets it to 5, and then once x is equal to y, so if it was, so because x is not equal to y is the condition. If x is equal to y, this is false, and then the while loop stops looping, and you exit out of the while loop, and you could print something like exited or whatever, right? And you can tell that we're out of the while loop. So this would not be an infinite loop, obviously, because we exited out of it. So that's pretty simple. William, you want anything to add to this? Want to add anything?
You can also do the x plus equals 1.
Yeah, exactly. Good point. Yeah. So this is just the way we learned before to change up a variable or do anything to a variable. X, you could do x plus 1, x minus 1, right? X divided by 1, which is not going to do anything. X times 1, also not going to do anything. But if you want to be cool, like a cool programmer, you can just write x plus equals 1, and that will do the exact same thing as x plus whatever, x plus 1. You do x plus equal 2, x plus equal 3. So yeah, that saves time. And by the way, if you were to do it this way, This is going to be an infinite loop because it's going to go from 1 to 4 and then 7 and then 10, right? It's never going to hit 5. It's never going to be equal to y. So we're just going to continue going. As you can see, the numbers go real fast. So that's while loops. Pretty simple stuff. Alright, cool. Why don't we hop into functions? And that's the last thing I want to go over, and then we can just start hopping into the like very basics of the tic-tac-toe game, and we can start assembling your own games. For loops, you're going to be using that if you know how many times, either you know how many times you want to iterate, or you're iterating over a specific iterable, like a list, iterable or iterator, list or a string or a dictionary or like an array. Eventually, when we can do numpy arrays, you can all loop through that and just chug each element, go that way. While loops is you don't necessarily know when your condition is going to be satisfied, so you can set that equal to whatever condition you want, and when that condition is satisfied, you just go into the or exit the while loop. So you can have a continue looping until a certain condition, whatever you want, is satisfied. And when we start doing Pygame, if you guys want to do Pygame, it's basically set up as a while loop. It's set up as an infinite loop until either you win the game or you press exit or you press a button to exit or something like that. So if you want to think about the practical applications of a while loop, that's one of them. So there you go, while loops and for loops.